get video footage of Alright, so as you can see, we got the outer tie rod off because we can't take it off because this thing will twirl around like so because it is so bent out of shape. Look at that. Hit a freaking tall curb. City of Chicago. Now I'm just going to take the boot off, then turn the take off the inner tie rod, and then next is our lower control arm. We got to replace that too. Look how dented in that is. That really made the whole wheel assembly just go this way. As you can see, it looks centered from here. Once you put the wheel on, drop it down to the ground, it is rubbing up against all this, which is why you see all this. Insane. That's a lot of damage just for a curb. So we got the boot off, but we still got to get this nut off. It is not coming off. Last resort, we might have to get a cutting wheel, put on an angle grinder, and then cut this end off, slip it off. We got a new inner tie rod for it anyways because of the damage, so should be pretty easy peasy. Oh god, shadows. But if you could see right there, we're all set. Just need to get this portion off. And then next is the lower control arm. Alright, a little update. We removed the inner tie rod by using a cutoff wheel to cut off the bent part. And now we're working on the lower control arm. So we're going to use 15mm sockets to get this all off. It's not agreeing with me, but let's see if we can get it off. I got that pulled out, but we'll see. Alright, day 2. This pinch bolt will not come out. We've tried fire, we've tried penetrating oil, we've tried everything under the sun. Still won't come out. So, yeah. My brother-in-law is going to come over. He's going to take a few swings at this and make sure it can come out. If not, we'll bring it over to Ben Hockman, see if he can't just melt the sucker out of there. We'll take the actual knuckle off. But if you're ever dealing with a seized pinch bolt like this for the lower control arm to hold in place, just take it somewhere. Replace the whole bolt and nut. I'm over it. But inner tie rod's out. Everything is taken apart. I got the caliper off and hanging, but this is nonsense. I actually, out of frustration, look at it. It easily moves. Easily moves. This does not. We hammered the holy hell out of that. Just not going to happen. And I'm deeply sorry I did not post any of that frustration, but for good reason, I wasn't about to. So, yep. So now we're going to grab some penetrating oil and get this ready for my brother-in-law to swing through. And hopefully he can hammer it out. Just some penetrating oil in the middle there. On the end, on this end, just soak that son of a bitch. Look at that. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I want this out. Alright, we'll let that soak. Alright, might as well turn this into like some sort of vlog because this is a very lengthy process. Let me just show you what's going on now. So, we took the steering knuckle off via the axle nut. So now the CV axle's removed, separated from the steering knuckle. Got my caliper hanging here. Got the new inner and outer tie rod already installed. This is all ready. But we can't remove the lower control arm without removing the lower control arm, like the ball joint stud that's stuck in there, because the pinch bolt is absolutely seized. I've tried everything. I've tried impacts. I've tried lubrication. I've tried heat. I've tried hitting it with my purse. It's just all the purses. Just nothing is working, guys. Nothing is working. So let me show you what's going on. All right. So basically what's happening here is, so the steering knuckle is separated. As you can see, I already even put a small socket on there so that way I can try to bang it out and then cut this off, because I've resorted to every single avenue to try to get this thing out. It's not working. So got a buddy. I made a kind of a public shout out, like, hey, is there anybody I could bring this to? Get this bolt out. I don't care if you have to melt it.
And lo and behold, someone answered the call. I'm going to be bringing it over to Elgin Ford in Elgin, Illinois to get this thing either drilled out or melted. I don't care. I just need this thing out so I can get this thing on the road again. And that's the primary objective right now. I do not know why this turned into such a mess, but it has. And it's a 3-day process instead of a 20-minute install.
But first, water. All right, so we're on our way over to Elgin, Illinois. It says it'll take about half hour, maybe less. Let's see if I can beat the GPS time. You said it was 3, right? Bolt is out! Whatever that was. Bolt is out. We're on our way back home. Now we can install the lower control arm and be done with this already. Huh? All right, we have our replacement bolts and nuts for our lower control arm attachment. And honestly, I went with a class 10, even though the previous bolt is supposedly a class 10. Didn't act like it when you're trying to put a socket on it, but I digress. We went with a class 10, M10 by 150, I believe, was the closest to the thread. Doesn't matter. The classification of the actual bolt itself is going to hold the assembly. So now we're on our way back home to put that bolt and nut in place and put everything back together and make this puppy drivable again. On a side note, through all this trouble, got a beautiful sunset. All right, we're gonna go get air, come back, see what's up. Those gashes on the sidewall we're a little bit concerned about, but hey, it is what it is, right? Keep you posted on this. So yeah, that was supposed to turn into a DIY video, but I completely butchered it and failed. So I'm just gonna wrap it up into a vlog and yeah, just post it. If you guys are interested in seeing more shenanigans and other boring things that go on in my life, feel free, subscribe or something.